Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All, educational videos and tutorials. In this video today we are just going to check out 3D model which we were talking about in previous video, which gave us this error, mesh error in Sculptris Alpha 6, the old software which says too many connections to a vertex, max 24. And although this is a old software and you can say who cares, just go for something new, and Nomad Sculpt opened that 3D model without problems, and it worked and you can work in it, that's true. And later when we exported as OBJ, we also imported it in Blender, so you can work in Blender too with it. So why would you work with Sculptris when you can work in Blender and Nomad Sculpt instead? That's true, but I just wanted to show you how this message it's not just made up, it's not without reason there, and how you can check that in real world, and let's do that. So we have error that says too many connections to a vertex, max 24. So this software says that one vertex, or maybe even more, has 24 or more connections, lines, vertices to it, and that's confusing this software, and he cannot probably he cannot guarantee you that sculpting will work as opposed to and shading and stuff like that. But let's open our model in Blender and see that in action. I try to find that vertex with lots of connection. I already think I know where it is. It's simple as and you will see that in a second, but first of all, here in top left corner where you have object mode, click on drop down menu and click on edit mode, and that's what I couldn't find in previous video. And you can see it already. If you're a 3D modeler, you know that it should probably be on the top. And this every one of those dots, nodes, they are called vertices. They are the smallest, like point in 3D space. The point is vertex is the first, then you have the line, or here it is, the line, which is connecting two vertices, like here, yeah. And after that you have polygon, which is made up out of 4 or 3 vertices. If it's 4, it's a quad. If it's 3, then it's a triangle 3, like this. So 3, quad, triangle, square. And those are like elements of 3D modeling. So vertices, you want to have in 3D modeling, you want to have the mesh as clean as possible in terms of as many of those quads as possible. They render best, let's say, like that. And if you cannot have them, sometimes you will just have to go with triangles, because on the render side, even the quads, if you divide them by diagonal line, they are also 2 triangles. So every quad is 2 triangles, so you can think about it that way. But you want to have a clean mesh in terms of clean lines, clean quads, something like some kind of flow, natural, to show the shape of the model, not too much connections, not too much edges and lines if you don't have to, and so on. We will talk about that later, maybe when we learn some kind of 3D modeling, but in general that's it. And you want to avoid too many connections, sometimes to one vertex, and it's probably here on at the end, because this is a huge polygon. This here was one polygon, so it had to be divided in so many triangles, and to do that all you do is connect this polygon to this vertex center, this one too, and that way you create lots of triangles. And for most of the time you don't care about that in terms of it will, if it renders nicely like here in Unity engine, you don't have problem with it, so who cares? It looks good from the bottom, it looks good from the top, so so everything is cool and works fine. But sometimes it will make problems in different engines or shaders or animations or softwares and so on, as we saw. So in this case we have seen that Sculptris says there is some kind of vertex that has 24 or more connections, and that is confusing me, and here it is, I think. So this guy here, center, he has, you can count how many connections. This is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 24 here, if I counted well. So we have found the guy here. So, but it doesn't mean that this will be the only problematic. Yeah, maybe someone else. Yeah, because this, for example, this model has couple of different. It's made of couple of different shapes like this, meat, cheese. We don't see how those are made in terms of, we don't see where they connect below. So we can try to maybe just to delete this top one. Yeah, he asked me again. Okay, cool. And we have now made, and let's delete the bottom one just in case. Oh, yeah, you can see how many layers of those we have, which is crazy. I'm just trying to show you how, for example, you don't need to see this one, I think, at all. Let me delete this one to see if it will change. No. So for example, we could delete couple of those polygons, not couple of those, but lots of those, and that way save some kind of poly count, and the model stays the same from the view. Only this hole, of course, it's ugly in the bottom, but this middle shapes like meat and cheese, you can delete almost all of those and still. Oh, this one is crazy. Look how many of those. Move, yeah. Let me try to move this one just to look how many connections. What is that? That's some kind of star shape. Control Z. Let me try to delete that one, but yeah, it will be strange, but yeah. Let me try to delete all of those. Wow. Yeah, I should have seen how many polygons we had in start and how much now. I think we have lowered the poly count so much, and that's important for low poly games. You want to have as low. Yeah, this could be too much. I will undo the last one. So yeah, maybe I will try to export this one, although this wasn't my intention, from Blender, and call it hamburger Sculptris. just to try to open it in sculptures now to see if it will work. What I wanted to say is that sometimes your art director or yourself should worry about those, because you will save some kind of polygon count, poly number in terms of game engine. We will learn that in some of the next videos. All of those models here, they take resources in terms of if they have lots of those polygons, lots of vertices, that is heavy for game engine to process them. And as much as that number grows, your processor and game will become slower, which makes sense. So you want to keep them as low on poly as possible, but to keep them looking good. So that's why this is important. Okay, let's try to import this in sculptors. So let's try to import this. I'm not sure this will work, but let's try to import it without a couple of those vertices deleted to see if we will get the same error. Oh, so this time it works. So yeah, it was a good example, I hope. So now I can go to clay and model this guy, or whatever I want to turn it into. Like, okay, this is a low poly model, so it looks ugly, but the whole idea here is just to show you the workflow, not to create something cool or good looking. But the whole idea here is that now I can change it in sculptures, and earlier I couldn't, and that was because of this guy here, this vertex, which we have deleted, and some of those below. So I just wanted to show you that you can find workaround all the time, and you will face the problem all the time. It doesn't matter which software you use, or how confident or experienced you are, because once you enter the game development in terms of start using some kind of engine, Unreal, Unity, Game Maker, you will have to import some kind of assets, and then crazy stuff begins. That's it for this video. See you in next one. Bye for now.